Hey, what's up, guys? Schizomanic here. So, I wanted to talk some One Piece. I almost fucking died. Anyways, I wanted to talk some One Piece, and I wanted to talk about specifically the girls of One Piece and Oda's issues with his girls, and my issues with Oda's issues with his girls, because there's some issues that need to be addressed. So let's get into it, goddammit! Okay, so let's talk about the first thing, and this is something that's been an issue for a while, but it's become more and more apparent as the series has gone on. He has a ridiculous bias towards Nami. It's fucking annoying. Now look, and let me preface this by look. People already know me, know that Nami is like my least favorite Straw Hat. Probably she's in the, if she's not my least favorite, she's usually like bottom tier for me, because Nami always got on my nerves in the part one of the series. Now ever since the New World kind of kicked off, starting with like Shibone Archipelago, going into Fishman Island, all that, she's been fine. Like, I haven't really had any issues with Nami at all. She was fine in Punk Hazard. She was barely around in Dressrosa, and she's been okay in Zoe and the Big Mom stuff. My issue is that Oda inherently caters to her like all the goddamn time, and it's specifically bad in his movies. Now, I've already kind of complained that I don't mind the whole Strong World Z film Gold style, but at the same time, I miss the old school character-based movies that we just kind of stopped getting. And although I haven't seen Film Gold, this is where it comes into play. In fucking Strong World, it was Nami focused. In Z, he kind of fixed himself and balanced it out, and then he still kind of got biased with Nami in some aspects, but for the most part was still pretty okay. And then Gold, I already read some of the plot and know that it references Nami's history. And I'm like, well, Nami never got like a full legit movie in the old school movies. The movies really mainly focused, I believe, primarily on like Zoro got one, Chopper got one, Luffy got one. There was a few just fuck around movies, and then we got those remakes of those two arcs. So Nami never got like a specific movie dedicated to her. And realistically, the biggest problem with Strong was that Strong World just felt like a rehash of the Online arc in some ways. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I want to fucking see another Nami film. And especially Fishman Island suffered to me in an aspect because of it. I knew it was going to come up, but it was the whole, we need to rehammer Nami's backstory. She got her own little special for reanimating the Arlong Park arc. And I'm like, guys, I get it. I get that your wife looks like Nami Oda, but for the love of fucking God, you have another woman on the boat. Cater to her, damn it, because you don't do that enough, which gets into my second issue. What the fuck is going on with his Robin situation? Now, and once again, let me explain what I mean by this. Robin, and probably Bo Hancock to a lesser extent, Robin, personality-wise, I really love. She's kind of come out of her shell. You've noticed she's become more expressive. She'll get into gags more often. He's gotten more free with using her, and it kind of it correlates with her development from like CP9, where she's willing to be open with her friends now and show them parts of her that she usually doesn't, like the whole gag she did where she kind of freaks out with the Tontadas and Dressrosa, the ridiculous gag with her and the dragon. I think the dragon's name was Ryunosuke in the beginning of Zoe. Like, she gets into gags and she shows off her character more often. I love that aspect of her. But then here's what we get into the biggest problem. He refuses to give these girls fights, and that's also including Nami. Nami's last legit fight, I think, was probably CP9. Because I don't really count the shit that happened in Thriller Bark and nothing else after that. Nami hasn't had a fight since CP9. Robin hasn't had a fight since maybe Thriller Bark. If you want to count the Chopper hogback Sindri shit. She hasn't had a fight. And then you put her in Dressrosa, and granted, he's had a problem. Frankie's had a similar issue. I'm not gonna fucking excuse that. But he just doesn't show fights well anymore. Zoro's are fucking boring to watch. Like, he's just had an issue with fights. The only characters that seem to get good fights now is like Luffy. Luffy gets like the only good fights, because Zoro's are all like throwaway. And then it's like, but specifically the girls I'm focusing on because they're the ones who suffered the most. Even Boa Hancock, who was introduced like right after Shaboni Archipelago, and we saw consistently until the end of the war arc, going right into the time skip. What the fuck legit fight did Boa ever get? Boa got like no real fight. She got little skirmishes and shit, and that was it. And it's like, you have girls who have very unique abilities and fight in different ways. Nami fighting with weather. Robin kind of fighting borderline like an assassin. And then fucking Boa who fights hand to hand or foot to foot in some cases. And like, none of them got like fights or any challenging aspects of for their abilities. Like, none of their abilities are ever challenged because they never get fights to show them off. It doesn't make any sense. Boa comes off insanely broken to most compared to most characters because her ability of turning people to stone who find her attractive, which is like almost every damn character in the series minus a couple. Why the fuck would you? And I think that's the problem. It's the problem I kind of went across a while ago. I think Oda's kind of written himself into a corner because now he doesn't know how to make proper fights for some of these characters because of how overpowered he's made them. In terms of their abilities, but at the same time, it's like, guys, you still throw Zoro bullshit fights, you still throw Sanji bullshit fights, even the rest of the Straw Hats. I mean, fucking Brook has had more fights in the New World than like fucking Nami or Robin has. What kind of shit is that? Why do you do this? The third thing is that even when they get fights, and this was an issue they both had, I think Robin not so much. He's had this thing where he only does the girls fighting girls trope, where like they'll only fight girls. All of Nami's fights have been against females. Robin's only male fight she got was versus like Yama and Skypiea, which how long ago was that? So on top of the lack of fights, the fights we have gotten, and granted, Yama is one of her better fights because it showed her in a different scenario. You always wonder, how would Robin do against someone who fights close combat and will beat the shit out of you physically, and it showed that she's gonna take some hits, but she gonna get in that ass or someone, and she fight like an assassin. Shit was cool as fuck. It's the same thing. Or someone like Boa Hancock. Now Boa Hancock fighting another girl is probably interesting more so because fighting guys automatically kind of proves as like fighting girls for Boa would make more sense because of her whole I'm so sexy I turn you to the stone as long as you find me attractive, whereas some girls may not find her attractive. That is more interesting on that level, but it's just kind of like, and also weird is that when you look at, especially specifically Robin going again, Robin's had like a shit ton of new abilities showing off. How she can fly now, she can make giant variations of her floor attacks, she can create fucking clones. I'm trying to think of some other. I think those are the main three ones that have been shown. She's had some cool variations in her abilities. Like, you've shown how much Robin's grown specifically, and even fucking Nami to a lesser extent with the variations in weather eggs. And yet you don't show them in fights. Why is that? And then on top of the whole sexism, and not really sexism, but it's like, dude, they're strong. Most of these girls are strong enough to take on guys. Like, they're stronger than some male characters in the series. Why the fuck have they only been fighting girls? Nami specifically. Nami, why is she only fighting girls? Robin, why hasn't she gotten a fight, period? And then fucking Boa, she's a fucking warlord who doesn't get like a legit fight. It's insane. So that's another fucking problem. Is that he won't give any of these girls. Characterization wise, he's been fine with most of them. I haven't had issues with him characterizing his women. It's the fucking lack of attention in the other areas of the story, which then also gets into another problem he's had with his female characters. First off, their variation in design, which has become more of an issue as the series has gone on. That he only really knows how to draw. He knows how to draw really goofy looking characters, and he can only draw sexy girls one fucking way. Almost every girl he's drawn that's like attractive, Shirahoshi, Reiju, Rebecca, fucking Tashigi has pretty much devolved into it to an extent. It seems to use literally like Nami and Robin as a base in terms of their physical appearance. And that's also because his style for drawing women has changed. But it's like, women can be sexy in a different way. Like, he can draw ugly women in different ways. But like, when it comes to his girls, he can't draw, like when it comes to his girls looking nice and sexy, it's always, Nami and Robin is the gold standard. That's all you're going to fucking get is Nami and Robin in terms of appearances. And they're just slight variations. Most of them based off of fucking Nami. Shirahoshi looks like Nami. Tashigi looks like Nami. Reiju looks more like fucking Robin in some aspects. Even fucking Hancock looks more like Robin. It's like when you're drawing overly sexualized women, like mature and sexy, you get a Robin look. And if you're going for like more young and cute and shit, you'll get a Nami look. It's kind of a jarring thing. And then I guess the next thing, and which kind of goes back to the fighting argument, he refuses to show his girls getting beat up. Like, if you notice, like, almost every male character takes nasty fucking hits in One Piece. Like, he has them take all types of hits. Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, Chopper. Chopper's gotten his shit rocked in some aspects. Sanji, Frankie. He has no problem showing these characters struggle like motherfuckers. But when it comes to the girls, once again, Nami's fights always kind of devolved into, well, she's like a little girl, so we're not going to take her seriously. And that's like the way Nami kind of wins her fights, is that her opponents underestimate her and she kicks ass. Robin has kind of struggled in some aspects, but once again, don't really make Robin... Well, he did it more in Skypiea, if anything. Like, for example, the bitch got shocked by Inaru. That's nasty as fuck, dude. He's also... King Yama didn't play no games either. But once again, Robin kind of devolved into this, well, we can't have her take any too many hits. I mean, even Dressrosa, the worst she just got fucking spiked slammed in her back, which obviously is pretty bad to a normal human. But considering the amount of damage and hits that other characters in that arc took, it's like, once again, why the fuck is she excused from that shit? Rebecca was the same thing. Sure, Hoshi didn't really take any hits. Boa doesn't really take any hits. The girls of One Piece just don't get their shit rocked. And obviously, I get it. It's a manga for boys, so you're going to cater to it. But it's jarring as fuck to see the guys go through the most ridiculous shit imaginable. And the girls are just kind of like, my arm is bleeding. My back hurts a little bit. I got like a blood trail going down my face. It hurt, and the reason why it pisses me off so much with One Piece specifically is because he has some of the better girls in Shonen. I don't give a fuck what anyone tells you. One Piece girls almost by default are better than fucking Naruto girls, are better than fucking Bleach girls. Most Shonen Jump females, not all, because there are some girls that are better. Even like some of the old school ones, like Kaoru from Rurouni Kenshin. Kaoru, it serves really no purpose than to be like an emotional ground for Kenshin. Not necessarily a strong character. And granted, she was strong in her own right. I mean, you can say something about Winry. But I'm talking about women who can kick ass and be strong emotionally. Oda, you got it. You just won't fucking use it. Like, you kind of use it. And it's like, I'm kind of excited, but it hurts me when I have to go into an arc and I'm sitting there going, please give Robin a fight. Please give Robin a fight. We get through all of Dressrosa. No! And then, like, Nami, I'm just kind of like, I don't fucking love Nami, but if you're going to be a biased bastard with Nami anyway, at least give her a fight. And give her a good one, not this fucking I gotta fight another girl shit. Because Nami, I think, is at the point now where she can fight guys. They just won't let her fight guys. He won't, let her fight guys. It's jarring. And it's always this fucking Nami, Luffy, undertone shipping shit. Which I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He may not ever do anything with it, but he definitely has this weird... Luffy and Nami are together. Like, every time Nami's in a group with Luffy, that's intentional. And like, even when characters get separated, Nami ever seems to get separated from Luffy a lot, which is fucking jarring. I think recently in the recent chapter, one of the recent chapters where he had that cook, I think her name was Colette, get beat up by one of Sanji's brothers, was probably the most violent he's ever been towards women. He usually doesn't show women getting beat up in One Piece much at all. It's always that, you pushed me down, or it's always like that really dumb small shit. They either get killed or they get like slightly bruised and shit. It's never like borderline physical abuse and torture, which is what they did to Colette. Was one of the few pretty girls he drew that actually got her shit wrecked. And it was interesting because it was like, I know you're probably doing this to show how scummy your brothers are, but I'm also curious if that's going to be a thing moving forward, that you're willing to show these girls take damage. Because that's one of the cool things about the One Piece girls, is that some of them have taken a lot of shit. Robin, he's done that with a little bit in CP9, where Spandam essentially spent like, I don't know how many episodes just abusing her throughout the whole CP9 arc, which was cool and interesting, but once again, it all devolved into, oh, I pushed you, oh, I may have did something mean, I stepped on your back or some shit, but it was never like anything like with Luffy or Zoro or Sanji can endure. And I feel like that's bias. That's a sexist bias that he has. And considering Oda's pretty progressive in certain aspects of his manga, the way he portrays his female characters overall, I still think is pretty good. And even things like handling homosexuality, which is about hit and miss. You know, you got characters like Bon Clay and Ivankov who are fucking awesome, and then you got characters like the island that Sanji was on for 2 years. So, you know, it kind of fluctuates. He's not perfect, but it's just things about him and his writing style towards girls sometimes that just irk me. Especially because, and the only reason why I harp on it is because I care so much. One Piece is still today my favorite series. I don't necessarily like the anime as much as I used to, primarily because the Toei won't walk away for a little bit and let him get caught up enough, let him go far enough past where they are in the anime to where you could animate the episodes consistently and they still look good, or just make a fucking filler that's like a normal arc size. They won't do that shit. That's a rant for the anime for another day. It's just this is the type of shit that bothers me about the girls of One Piece. And then recently his whole princess gimmick where like all the girls that are plot important are friends with Luffy, which really isn't that big of a deal. It just pisses me off in certain aspects because none of these girls can fight. It's one of the reasons why I'm very happy with Carrot. Because Carrot is a close hand-to-hand combat fighter. Please let Carrot get a goddamn fight! You threw her on the boat with Pedro. They both better get some fights, damn it. Just saying, specifically Carrot, because Carrot wasn't really shown much in Zou having that many interactions with the Straw Hats, but you put her on the boat anyway. She better do something. She better fucking do something, goddammit. But this is just thought process. But these are just issues I have. If there are any other things you would like me to do One Piece discussions on, leave them in the comment section below. How do you feel about One Piece's girls? And for the fuck of it, the question of the video, who's your favorite One Piece female? Villain or ally, doesn't matter. Or Straw Hat, it doesn't matter. Who's your favorite One Piece girl? Thank you guys for watching. Patreon, Twitter, Facebook in the comment section below. Like the video if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching. Let's the gameplay to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace! One Piece! Some of those poses should be impossible that those girls do. But because they're not real, it doesn't matter. In some cases, you could also say that they're dead. Ha! 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 An impromptu skull joke that probably wasn't that good. Thank you for the criticism.